Welcome back to another weather discussion. Today we're going to be talking about the cold blast that's going to hit the Midwest and Northeast, the fire weather for the fire weather for the North Dakota, Montana, and Florida, and then we're also going to be talking about the heat risk that is going to be hitting Oregon and Washington, as well as what to expect for severe weather throughout the week. So let's get started. And first, we're going to be starting with the fire weather. Um, and today's fire weather risk is a little bit of an enhanced risk over by Florida, in the southernish Florida, by Daytona Beach to Miami, Florida. And then we also have another fire weather risk for North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and South Dakota today. And that will stick around tomorrow, as there is a fire weather risk for North Dakota and Montana tomorrow, and also into Minnesota as well. And then next thing we're gonna talk about is the cold blast that will be affecting the Midwest to the Northeast, and we do have some frost/freeze expected for day 3 to 7. We can see it in the Northeast and into the upper Midwest area. We also have some freeze warnings in effect for the Ohio Valley. And then we also have some frost advisories going all the way from Connecticut up to Michigan and then down to even Georgia. So there's a pretty good freeze happening over in the East Coast. And then what is also happening is we have some heat that is going to be affecting the Oregon and Washington. So we have Oregon and Washington heat that will be around 90 degrees on Sunday. There's going to be 90 degrees in Portland, Oregon. So if you are in there, make sure to have water, as that is some heat that will be affecting that area. Now let's talk about the severe weather. So with this severe weather that is coming, we have a 15% risk for the Arklatex region into Oklahoma as well. And then on day 5, we have this same system hit the lower Mississippi Valley, and it's going to be a little bit more southern of Louisiana into Alabama. And so we're going to expect some severe weather hitting there. And it all kind of starts as we get into day 2. There's going to be a marginal risk of severe weather hitting Missouri and Illinois, which is going to be mainly hail and wind. Does not look like there's going to be a tornado risk. But then on day 3, we have another hail and wind risk hitting the Midwest into the Ohio Valley from Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, and into Nebraska as well. So it's going to be a pretty larger hail and wind risk, but it doesn't look too bad. But then once we get into day 4 and day 5, we have that both 15% risks that we will be expecting over the few days. For the flooding goes concerned, we have a small flooding risk tomorrow near Miami, Florida. And then we also have for day 4, where the system brings the severe weather here, we have flooding for the Ohio Valley and into the Arkansas, Tennessee region. And then that will continue into day 5, where it'll shift south, as does the severe weather risk. So it looks like the severe weather risk coming will be shifting south, and will most likely be a southern threat. It won't necessarily be a northern threat. So any northern threat that we experienced a few weeks ago will not be returning for this severe weather reload. But we will see what the next severe weather path has for us. As for today, we had a slight risk over here in Florida that is now a marginal risk we had a tornado watch issued for Florida, and it didn't really do any. It was not a really low end storm, so it didn't really produce any tornado warnings. But there was at 1.85% tornado risk. Um, but it ended up dying. It didn't really perform that well. We still have that 5%, but it looks like the storms are moving out of the area, and so the risk, it does not appear as if it's staying. And that looks to be mostly it for the expected weather over the next few weeks. Um, so we will see. We'll make another discussion once more severe weather comes. But live streams will be determined based on how bad these severe weather risks are going to be hitting the south. And so stay tuned for that. And um, I will see you in, if you do stick around, I will see you in another live stream if you do um, join one of our live streams. And then click the link down in the description for our Discord server. That's where we mostly have all of our communication get sent through. And then we we'll see how this next severe weather risk is going to be affecting the United States. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.